Hi, I'm Barry Sahazian. This video is about left-hand slapping. Left-hand slapping can add another dimension to your slap. Not only that, you can actually play faster with an economy of motion because you're doing what you did with one hand, now with two hands. Another advantage of the left-hand slap is when you're alternating between the right hand and the left hand, you're getting a different tone and sound out of each hand, and it gives you this variety, makes it interesting, sort of like a conga player. Each hand makes a little bit of a different sound, a different velocity, and also as well as switching drums. And it sounds pleasing to the ear and interesting. And that's what the left-hand slap can add as well. So let's get started. But before we do, I might ask that you subscribe to my channel to help me grow, as well as a like, a comment, and hit the bell to be notified of all the new videos as they come out. Let's jump right into the technique. The biggest challenge of the left-hand slap is to make it dead sounding without a ring, because when you hit the strings like that lightly, there's harmonics all over the neck, and you want to avoid that. You want just a dead slapping sound. And how you do that is you have to use at least 2 or 3 fingers, you know, or all 4. Trying to make it sound as dead as possible. There's still a little tiny ring in there, and maybe if you use a mute up here or something, that could help, but I'd rather not. I'd rather use your hands to accomplish the dead sound. Now, the dead sound with the right hand, you may already be familiar with if you've been doing any slapping, and still you need the left hand to mute the strings while you hit with the right hand. Let's try to alternate a little bit and see how that works out for you. Okay, here's another line. This line is getting a little more musical, and it is a 2-bar phrase. It sounds like this. Okay, let me break it down for you slowly, and then I'll play it again. So what you're doing is a right-hand slap, left-hand slap, and then 2 right-hand slaps. Then it does it again. And then the third time, it does the same thing, except you leave out the last right-hand slap. So the third time will be... So... Let me count it for you so you can understand it that way in terms of the 2 measures, quarter notes and eighth notes. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is easier to play fast and develop. It gets your muscle memory together, and let's try it a little faster. What I'd like to do now is add a dead note pop to the line. Make it a little more interesting. And that would go a little like this. We have our right hand slap, left hand slap, right hand slap, and then we'll hit a dead note pop. Now that we've done that, let's add a live pop, like... You can articulate it, make it short. Or keep it long. Your preference. I added a little syncopation there and put 2 pops at the end of the line. So let's add 2 notes. We'll pop twice, we'll pop the G, and then we'll pop the A. Take it a little step further. I guess it's time to add a hammer on. See how that works out. Now that got a little more syncopated, so it's a little more of a challenge, but it's worthy to try it out. You're building a vocabulary, putting the left-hand slap in, and after a while it becomes natural and just instinctive, sort of. Now I'd like to go over a cliche that a drummer uses, a fatback beat. So that would be when you hear an experienced drummer playing a fatback beat, they change it subtly all the time and move it around a little bit, and it sounds interesting. It never becomes boring, and that's part of the game. I'm going to follow their lead, and I'm going to turn this line into a 2-measure phrase. I'm going to add a live note on the root on the first beat of the measure, and then a live pop and a live pop on G and A. Sound a little bit like this. So let me break that down for you. First of all, we have 2 slaps, live note, and then a pop. And then we have a dead note, slap, and pop. Then we put our left-hand slap combo in there. That will be the next addition. Then you kind of repeat that last phrase 2 more times, and you have your 2 measures. So what I'd like to do next is start the lines with a pop on the first beat. This changes the perspective of things and allows you to introduce new lines starting with the pop. So what we'd do is simply turn around what we already learned starting from the right-hand slap. So pop, right-hand slap, left-hand slap, right-hand slap. Now I'm going to put a live pop on the first beat of the measure on the A. It helps you hear, since it's accented and it's a live pop, it helps you hear 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's try another example with the pop on the first beat of the measure, and we're going to add a small rhythmical change, which is a rest on beat 2. Sounds like this. I'll play it a little slower now so you can observe. Count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This would be the last example and a little more challenging and creative, and I'd like to point out that on my Patreon page you can download notes and tabs for all these examples as well as play-alongs, and I'd really appreciate your support. Let's take a look at this one. So basically, this line is sort of the same line repeated twice, but only moved over by an eighth of a beat, an eighth note. So it can get confusing unless you really count with it. So I'm going to count and play it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this concludes the video on left hand slapping. I hope you liked it. If you did, slap me a like, leave me a comment, ask me a question. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and thank you for stopping by. I'll see you next time.